Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Left Hook. My name is Mark Bland, and we appreciate you guys checking us out every single Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on WIBHradio.com, as well as 102.5 WIBH, 104.1 KRLL, and other CBS affiliates playing us throughout this great land. I am your host, Mark, and today I don't really have a rundown, ladies and gentlemen. I do have a guest. Not really a guest. I call him a guest. He's not a guest. He's more just like the other half. Like, he just shows up and he's a part of the world.
He's nearby.
He does things. Sometimes he does things I want to do. Sometimes you do. It's just one of those things, right, ladies and gentlemen. And he's here today. Jason Kull is here. Welcome, Jason Kull. Jason.
Yes.
Now, as we get to this show, I said I didn't have anything prepped for today. I had a very busy week and a lot of things going on. It was very difficult for me to get prepped. At the same point, I know what's going on in the world. Yes. And I have stories that I can pull from if I need to, but I don't know if I necessarily need to, Jay. We kind of do that thing.
No,
and
they're just there.
I want to start it off with something you brought to my attention off the air.
Yes.
And I had no idea about this. Please. Okay, so.
Yes.
The state of Missouri, which is where you can hear these great shows as well as in other cities. The state of Missouri passed a law stating you had to prove that you were at least 18 years of age to use porn sites.
Yeah, to look at porn.
Now, this has led to Pornhub shutting down in Missouri or in the United States.
And access in Missouri,
Access? Why would they? Well, I don't know. Okay, first off, if this verification exists, fine. That sucks. I don't want that to exist as Pornhub because that just makes it harder for people to...
Let's see.
Well, now, Jason, we just ran into another problem.
Yeah.
You just explained to me that the same state where people voted for an amendment to the Constitution...
Yeah, you get that. I just looked it up. You get like a little thing like saying about
the Missouri ban?
Did. Yeah.
What's it say?
It's well, here's what you get.
Read it to us.
Dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in this one says Indiana, but are requiring us to verify.
Indiana? Why is your phone saying Indiana?
I don't know.
That's odd.
Maybe it's the same thing. So it's like Missouri's the same thing.
That's fine. Maybe you got one of them Indiana numbers.
Right?
You know?
Access to our website. While safety and compliance are at the forefront of our mission, giving your ID card every time you want to visit an adult platform is not the most effective solution for protecting users, and in fact will put children and your privacy at risk. Yeah, and they go on to like complain about it.
Sure.
How it doesn't work. And,
of course.
Yeah, so I guess they haven't made one for Missouri.
Well, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But at the same point, let's talk about this because as I was stating right before we started to read that, we've run into a problem. A bunch of people in a state where they took away a constitutional amendment vote on a 2024 general election ticket. The same ticket that had that vote for yes or no and passed overwhelmingly with a majority and gave Donald Trump presidency of the United States wasn't good enough for the state of Missouri. It gave Mike Kehoe his governor's position, but it wasn't good enough for that law to pass. Yeah, do you guys understand? Those laws can't pass. See, because the state of Missouri is a bunch of pieces of
Yeah.
They are. Whoop. Sorry. Didn't say it. We all know what it is.
I can't say I disagree with you.
Like, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. You can't act like a POS and think that we're going to not care. And then, by the way, I'm an adult, married, with kids, not worried about porn one way or the other at all.
Well, that's what
this is really more of an effect to younger people and to people who are like around that age where that would matter, or even just single people. Like a 45-year-old man shouldn't have to prove whether he's over the age of 18 so that Mike Kehoe, a pervert in his own right, has the ability to hang out like Mike Johnson and his kid do.
Hey, check this out.
And figure this out. Like, I don't... Guys, I'm just not... All right.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know what I just said, ladies and gentlemen? Let me explain. There are 50-year-old lawmakers in Jeff City right now, and those 50-year-old lawmakers went out of their way to create a bill,
yes,
and then work together to get it passed so that they could make it harder for themselves
right,
to jerk off. That's literally what this breaks down to. They made it harder for themselves to do one of the simplest, most selfless things a human being does. It's a personal thing. It's really down to each individual. It has nothing to do with anybody else. But once again, even in this case, ladies and gentlemen, I always say it's about the genitalia, and they always want to know who you are. Once again, we're back to I want to know who you are, right? What you're doing with porn. Where are you? What's your name? What do you look like? Are you naked? Do you have a mole here? Do you have a mole there? I need to know, because I need to know everything about you, except for I don't want you to know anything about me. Wait, why don't you want me to know anything about you, Donald Trump? Release the file. No. I don't want you to know anything about me. I want to know everything about you and this stupid pipe bomb and January 6th and all this other stuff. It's like, nobody cares about the pipe bomb. By the way, I'll touch on that for just a second while we're here. There was a person that was supposedly caught or being arrested or apprehended, or they were going after for this pipe bomb situation attached to January 6th, 2021. I don't care, and neither does anybody else. And the liberals definitely don't care. The majority of moderates and centrists do not care.
No.
And so...
Isn't he pardoned anyway?
No, yeah, isn't he pardoned anyway? Because he pardoned all those people. It was a big hoax, a Democratic hoax made up by Joe Biden and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama and Nancy and Chuck Schumer and Paul Pelosi all put it together to create...
All funded by George Soros.
All funded by George Soros, every single
But you know how we got on that Pornhub site, or just porn in general, Missouri, is I made the point where I haven't talked to anyone who's ever had to do that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that from anyone. And a couple of stories down, I didn't click on it, but Pornhub's not the only one. There was other sites.
Oh, I'm sure there's
decided just to block access and to deal with this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure there was a bunch of sites.
And it has to cost money. These services aren't free.
Right.
Who's paying to do your verification?
Right. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, why would you make it harder for yourself
right.
to do that?
Now
of all things. Like, you didn't... Okay, all right. If you want to be able to use porn sites on your computer privately or your phone in the state of Missouri, specifically, privately, without Mike Kehoe specifically wanting to know what's going on. Like, he won't tell you how many pigs he's got tied up with some girls down in the basement of his farm, but he sure wants to know who you're looking at and if it's BBC. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
that's what they want to know.
That's what they want to. Do you like BBC? Because I love BBC. Yeah, yes, Mike. Of course you do, Mike. You always love BBC. You liked it on the day the election happened. You liked it after the election happened. You just love BBC.
You know how many of those guys do what they do in front of the cameras, and then they go home and like just think about their wife, you know, just her and a group of black dudes.
Yeah. But it's just, to me, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why I bring this topic up. I'm glad that we talked about it a little bit. It's odd as an adult to see people that are of the same age as me creating things like this to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they were young at one point, and there are people in their lives that will be affected by these things, and it is a deterrent. And by the way, like I said, if you want that privacy, you want that ability to stay anonymous, to like be yourself and do your own thing, that doesn't sound very Republican what they did. That sounds very authoritarian. That sounds very Hitlerish. Like, listen, they're not like Hitler. They're not fascists and authoritarians. They're nothing like that.
Totally different.
But if they do things like that right there and pass it, that seems like something that Hitler would do. I mean, and that seems like something authoritarians and fascists would do. So I would not vote for Mike Kehoe or Republicans in the state of Missouri moving forward in your elections, because they seem to keep taking things away from you, and you want to gain new things and get better things in your life. How is taking your ability to porn access benefiting them and you financially in the United States. Looks like all your prices are still really high, and Donald Trump's still doing a bunch of dumb things and lying to you, and now they took your porn access too. Oh no. Do you not understand? It's all one big problem from the same party.
Isn't that the thing that all teenage boys
the theme
do is porn?
Right, yeah, that's their thing.
Had a porn collection.
Right, when you were a kid.
Some guys had massive ones, and you were in
most
all
of the time it was your friend's older brother, older cousin, whatever it was. They had some magazines.
This is why I'm a Democrat.
Oh, but this is why we did it, though. Right. Let me explain. We're trying to get back to where the kids have to go get the magazines so that their older brothers have them. So it's just like it was. It's like
trade football cards.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. I was having this conversation with my mom the other day.
Yes.
I'll tell you this. I have the ability in 2025 to make a Model T Ford.
Yeah.
I don't. Because I don't need to go only 25 miles an hour and in one of the most...
With no heater.
With a very, rigid box style. Everything is very, jerky. And
7-foot gear shift.
So instead, I make a 2025 Dodge Challenger or I make a Chevy Silverado or whatever because it's more comfortable. But also...
You can always go backwards.
By the way, it's faster. And it's more comfortable, and the technology is a lot higher and further along 100 years down the road. So what I'm trying to explain is that things get better. We don't need to go back to porn mags and black and whites and then just pictures of Marilyn Monroe with in a brassiere and a swimsuit. We don't need to. I understand what you guys are trying to do. Right. Remember, listen, okay, no, Jason, I have to bring these people to Jesus. Are you ready? No, I have to bring these people to Jesus real quick. People. No, welcome to Jesus. You get ready to say that, okay, Peter?
Right.
Get ready to say that over there, all right? Here we go. Do you guys remember every time you were at a Burger King or a Dairy Queen or a McDonald's and those girls, there's a group of them, about 6 or 7, and there would be always 2 guys, right? And every time they walked in, all the girls were wearing skirts, jean skirts, every single time. And it was the middle of summer, it was 99 degrees outside, and they had jean skirts on, and they were so weird, and you just couldn't understand it. And you were just like, why are those people wearing jean skirts for absolutely no reason and not showing? And it's because they couldn't show their ankles, they can't show their knees, they don't want to show their body. They are not allowed to show things off, and it's because they're part of a church. Religion likes to take things away from people. By the way, my name's John Mark. I have a brother named Luke Matthew. Nice to meet you as we have our conversation here. But remember how weird those people were? The girls with the jean skirts? That's what Donald Trump wants to make all of you. He wants to make all of you the girls who have to wear the jean skirts everywhere, on 100-degree days, everywhere. They don't want you showing anything. They want to have sex with porn stars while they're married to 3 women, and they want to do that while committing massive war crimes, but they don't want you to have access to some porn, and they don't want you to have your vote to count. They don't want you. They want them. Do you not understand? So, hey, listen, if the game is want yourself, because that's what Trump's playing, the game of want yourself. Kehoe's playing the game of want yourself. They're all playing the game of want themselves. So evidently, they all want girls that wear jean skirts all the time. Do you want that, Jason?
I do not.
I don't think a majority of Missouri dudes want that.
Rough.
Hey, how hot are the girls with the jean skirts, 15-year-old dudes? Tell me right now, all you 15-year-old dudes who run into girls with jean skirts all the time, tell me how hot they are, because you're probably geeking for it right now, right? No, you're not. Ankle. Nobody wants to be a stupid Latter-day Saint. No one. That's why it's Latter Day. It's behind. It's old. It's useless. And just like the rest of this segment, we are taking a break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to The Left Hook with Mark Bland. Jason Kull is here today, hanging out, kicking it with us. And Jason off the air.
Yeah.
Once again, you guys don't understand how much off the air conversation leads to on the air conversation. Because Jason hits a lot of off the air things. And off the air, Jason, what did you just bring up?
Which one?
What do you mean, which one? The last thing that you just brought up. The 2020 election.
Oh, about Donald Trump.
About Donald Trump and what? What about Donald Trump?
I said that he complains about the 2020 election being rigged, and I said...
It's like 2025.
And put this in your own lives. If there was some guy you knew, and every time you saw him, he complained about something from 5 years ago.
If every time there was a guy... Listen, right? Ladies, all ladies, you understand this. There's a guy... He asked you out on a date 5 years ago, and he's a part of your friend group. He knows people within your friend group, sees them all the time. Not a horrible human being, okay? No. But this person mentions it and brings it up every year a few times into the friend group, and now it's been 5 years, and you're married, and you guys have moved on with your lives, and he's still bringing it up, and you don't understand why.
It wouldn't be normal.
So, Jason, in the last segment, I brought up the pipe bomb and how there was a guy named Brian Cole that was supposedly caught for the pipe bomb. And this pipe bomb was supposedly associated January 6th. And the one thing that I want to say about this is release the Epstein files.
Yeah, right? We don't need this guy.
Do you not understand? No one believes there was a guy who voted for Joe Biden to get elected to be president, and then on the day that they were going to make him the president and give it to him, he was going to go make sure Joe didn't become the president. No one did that. There wasn't a guy who was like, listen, I'm going to try to assassinate the president,
on my own,
but I don't want to use bullets. I'm just buying bullets. Do you understand? Like, it doesn't work that way. There's not both things happening at the same time. So, ladies and gentlemen, there wasn't a bunch of people that also voted for Joe Biden to be elected president of the United States and then decided they were going to dress as Antifa and dress as a bunch of Trump supporters and then go stop Joe Biden from being elected to the thing that just a couple of months, like a month and a half earlier, literally just a couple of months earlier, they literally stood in line for an hour to make sure. Think about that. They went and stood in line for an hour and got yelled at for being handed water by some electioneer, okay? All right? Just to turn around when that was done, go dress up like Antifa 2 months later in Washington, D.C., and then try to go murder and kill Mike Pence for making Joe Biden the vice or the president of the United States. Like, this is really...
That they voted for.
This is the mindset of the soft, slow-brained Republican.
No.
Release the Epstein file. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I keep saying it, but have you noticed something? Donald Trump called for the release of the Epstein files like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not going to sit here and play this Epstein game because that's not my thing. But what I do find weird is it took us all these years to investigate the files. Then, once they were done being investigated, we used them in court cases to create the Ghislaine Maxwell situation and put her away into jail with those said files and investigations. And then once she was put away and into jail, the case should technically be closed and done because Jeffrey's dead.
Yeah.
And you're not arresting Don or anybody else that is associated with the files. So there's only two people that were guilty of anything. One's dead and the other one's in jail. Okay. So then there's nothing more to investigate. Yeah. There's nothing left. Now, Donald Trump told Pam Bondi he could open up any investigations he needed to in it. Mm-hmm. But my point being, it's done. If it's sitting on her desk, like she said
right here
a year ago, like
I'm looking right at it.
2 years, 10 years. It feels like 10 years have gone by.
No.
Yet. Literally, this is just earlier this year. They're sitting right here on my desk.
That's the worst.
My desk. By the way, this is the first month. I don't even know if she had a desk. I literally don't even know if the other guy had gotten out of his office fast enough for her to get in to have a desk. So she's sitting there on a news interview going, oh, they're right there on my desk, and she might not even have a desk.
Well, and then when they said that they arrested this guy, this Brian Cole, Kash Patel, did you hear him? He's like,
oh, yeah.
You're not going to come and attack our institutions. It's like, you just described everything that they did on January 6th and said you can't come do that.
Oh, yeah.
I will hold you accountable or pardon you and let you out of jail.
Right. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, no, listen. Jason, I got it right here. Let's all take a listen real quick.
Thank you, General. When you attack American citizens, when you attack our institutions of legislation, when you attack our nation's capital, you attack the very being of our way of life. And this FBI and this Department of Justice stand here to tell you that we will always refute it and combat it. We will provide the safest country the nation has ever seen under President Trump's leadership here. And that's what we did here today with great resolve.
All right. Is that what they did with great resolve? No, you didn't do anything. See, once again, I said release the Epstein files. You're talking about a pipe bomber. Right. Now, listen, if there's a guy that was walking around with pipe bombs and he was trying to hurt people, and his name's Brian Cole, fine. Go ahead and arrest him. You can even have a press conference, but you don't have to try to turn it into the January 6th fake hoax, the election bull crap, because it was you guys. And Ashley Babbitt never told her husband or son, I'm a huge Kamala Harris fan. I love Joe Biden. I'm a huge... No. Never happened. No. It would never happen in a million years because it just doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen. These people were Trump supporters and fans. They knew what they were. They got caught. They got people killed. Yeah. They got people hurt. Like Michael Fannin, he's on the Occupy Democrats network with us. He was one of the Capitol security guards that was there that day. This is what I'm trying to talk about. Like, guys, this is real.
But at the end, telling us we're going to keep you safe under Donald Trump's leadership, he pardoned all those people. He pardoned the people who attacked that Capitol you hold so dear.
Yeah.
Cash. What an idiot. He's so stupid. Truly stupid.
A moron.
Right? Truly stupid person. God.
Now, Jason. I know I love you, and you're a great human being yourself.
So much. Love you.
And I'm glad to see that you're finally posting to your Twitter again. It's kind of nice to see that you've decided to rattle off a couple. You know what I'm saying? I love sharing some of that stuff. At the same point, Kash is not the only dumb person that Jason Kull is running to, ladies and gentlemen, this week, because he ran into this too.
That just happened a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Find it.
Yeah, I'll find it.
This is Joe Rogan. They're trying to find out if non-citizens can vote with a driver's license.
Illegal.
I have to say I find it very hard to believe that.
Me too. But not, because I think
but not.
I find it hard to believe, but not. A lot
of the reason for wanting an open border is congressional seats. Because one of the things about when you do a census, it doesn't count how many people are citizens, it counts how many people. And so you can get extra congressional seats if you have more illegal immigrants in your city. And you have much more political power.
Well, no,
why do you get more seats if they can't vote?
It's just how it works. It's just how it's the way our census is set up. So the way a census is set up, it's just counting people. It's not counting people that are...
You said that already.
The census. Okay.
Yes. So the census is how they dictate the amount of congressional seats.
Sure.
Cool.
Yes. They count people.
Cool. They get an extra seat, but those illegals can't vote for them.
Confirms
it's not like you're getting Democrats. That could be extra Republicans.
October 14, 25. This is it. State hearing, Minnesota Director Elections Paul Linnell testified that non-citizens holding driver's licenses under the 2023 Driver's Licenses for All law can register to vote and cast ballots by affirming eligibility, as the ID verifies identity but not citizenship. Secretary of State Steve Simone.
Okay, so what they're saying is in Minnesota, in the elections...
They get arrested.
They're confirmed that non-citizens can vote with a driver's license as long as they register
and
to vote.
Prove eligibility.
Guys, we keep having this prove eligibility. What is the deal with them and eligibility to porn?
Out of his own mouth and
to
he's
their
still
porn?
confused.
No, even to their porn, to their votes, to their porn. Eligibility is required.
That's why I dislike him so much.
All right.
He even said it, and he's still confused.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Like the word came out of his own mouth.
I think it's really funny. For years, we've heard how it was the woke liberal left that led to participation trophies in men's sports like football, MMA, the woke liberal sports like soccer and baseball. And I don't know, anything where punching, kicking, or hitting is involved. The real homosexual LGBTQ things in America that guys love to do in high school. Come on, man. You guys understand it's you. You had your own participation trophies and got mad about it. You are the alpha males with the... Okay, listen, how I know it's you. I don't know any gay men or women that run a Pee Wee League baseball team spending $9,000 per player on the team for travel fees alone to be yelled at by a guy spitting dill pickle flavored sunflower seeds and calling it a godsend because Quick Trip has them in stock now. Like, this is nuts. This is nuts. I don't understand it. It's you guys are Republicans that do all this stuff. You are stopping your own porn. You hate your own children. By the way, listen, I think that Donald Trump's helping us by being friends with this place and that place. They're kidnapping women out of people's houses and beating them. I wish they'd kidnap my wife. Everyone's wife should be kidnapped. Like, you sound like idiots and morons. And I'm sorry that I have to come on this show every single time and tell you guys that you're being complete D-bags and morons. But hear me out. Release the Epstein files. Oh my God, it is so easy to go, all right, just here it is.
As a guilty man.
Guys, Jason, if you were...
guilty as can be.
Let me ask you a question. Yes. Serious question. Have you ever been as guilty of something as serious of a crime? Now think of all the crimes he's committed. He's had a lot.
Yes.
He's put a lot on the board, Jay.
Yes.
You might not be able to keep up with Donald. Listen, none of you. Listen, if there's something he is bigliest and bestliest at, it's going to be putting crimes up on the board. Right. Donald Trump can put 34 convictions at once on the board. Like he's a mess. He's like the Tom Brady of crimes. Okay.
My nemesis would have to be Batman in order to level the type of crime that.
Correct. This is the Joker without the paint. Oh, wait, orange face paint. He does have it. Okay, all right. Now, so here's the deal. Have you ever been guilty of any one thing as serious of a crime as any of the things he's been guilty of or accused of? And it extended long periods of time and you had to deal with it. And how did you handle it?
I have never been accused in public or otherwise of any felony. Like, I've never had a government agency or a person accuse me of any felonious crime.
Sure.
But I have been guilty of crimes because I've done things.
Because you're human and you do things. You jaywalked one time, and that's a law that's on the books. And by the way,
I've TP'd people before.
Right, exactly. Laws that are on the books.
So I know what it looks like. Yeah. He's a liar.
Yeah.
I've lied.
No, Jason, I know that. Jason, I know that you're in your early 50s, but it was a hoax.
Oh, that's
Your life's been a hoax. Only Donald Trump's life is real.
But that's what I mean when they ask him, Mr. President, this, and he's like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. You're lying.
By the way,
so obvious.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is asleep at the wheel. And when I say it, I mean literally he is asleep at the wheel. He is in the middle of a cabinet meeting and he is
for 30 minutes.
He is just gone. Like he is asleep.
For 30
and they're
minutes,
just talking.
J.D. Vance was president.
For literally, and everyone's just talking around. And this dude, they got the cameras off of him. They don't want to show him at all. He is asleep.
They're all pretending he's not asleep. They're all just continuing talking.
How bad
and
is
not
it,
looking
Jason?
at him at all?
Jason,
like, not,
before
like,
we go
I'm
to
looking
break,
at him.
Jason, before we go to break, how bad is it going to be? How bad is it going to be for these people when this comes back around? Oh my God! When this pendulum swings back,
I think 2026 we'll see the biggest peel off of MAGA groups. But I think 2026 is going to be a rough year for MAGA, especially when we get closer to the midterms. They'll start attacking each other.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here on The Left Hook right after this.
Astro, no. What you know about rolling down in the deep when your brain goes...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Left Hook. Mark Bland, Jason Kull, hanging out with you like we always like to do.
Yeah.
Jason, are you my co-host? Yes, today, all the time, maybe. Right. You never know. He might be. I just call him my co-host. Actually, Jason is my former co-host and co-host. Here's the thing.
They're always present.
People are going to ask me. They ask me behind the time, are you and Jason still hosting together? Yes, we do still host things together. When we get together, we co-host things together. Yes, Jason will always be one of my co-hosts. Like, that will always have been a thing. And we'll always be co-hosts together. So that we can always be co-hosts together at a place. We can always be separate. But yes, we'll always be co-hosts. So to answer those people's questions, you don't have to email me anymore. All right. Off the air?
Off the air.
Here we go. That's going to be the name of this one. Off the air. Unlike last year at this time when we were literally doing the bunker shows.
Yeah.
Bunker shows.
Yeah, right.
We were doing the bunker shows.
Heard around the world.
That's right. All right. God, it's sad. I didn't see where that all would go, dude. Yeah. The bunker show stuff. I didn't foresee certain individuals kind of falling out of my life and out of place for no reason whatsoever because of whatever stupid reasons they have. I don't know.
Rolling along.
Nothing politically based, I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, not at all.
Not about political disagreements or anything like 100%. That. But at the same point, Jason, we're human beings. I'm not going to let someone just trounce me or step on me and make us feel like we didn't have any value or worth in a situation where we were totally asked to be a part of it. So
unless you have to verify your age for it.
Unless you have to verify your age for it.
Step on us.
Now, with that being said, off the air, you did mention a question to me.
Yes.
You said, Mark, who do you think is going to be the first to go or the next to go is what you said.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And you said Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi.
One of those three.
Now, is there anybody else we want to throw in as a fourth potential just in case for the sake of the beginning of this conversation?
Maybe some out of nowhere person we never knew existed will be the one to take it. Well, yeah, that could be.
I mean, Bissett? Probably not Bissett. He seems too stock and lock and order.
He's too comfortable.
Admiral Bradley?
Well, he's already on the sword.
All right. Well, let's just go with those three for now. And if somebody else pops up, we can think about that. All right. So you said Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, or Hegseth. Now, all three are kind of embroiled with each other's problems.
A little here and there.
Little bit here and there. Yeah. So there is kind of crossover to everybody's messes. Now, Pam Bondi, I feel, is the one who's the cleanest in all of the situations. And the reason I say the cleanest is because as a prosecutor, as a person who sits in the attorney general's position, okay, she's got to keep the squeakiest wheel. We know that she's not squeaky wheel. We know that.
No, yeah, she's.
She is the squeaky wheel. I'm sorry, she is the squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
Against the grease.
She's dirty.
She is the squeaky wheel. But that isn't enough. Plus, I think we got to go back into the past a little bit. She is the former Florida Attorney General, and she is where Mar-a-Lago was, and that's how Trump knew her. And she did all of DeSantis bidding.
She gave him that pass on the
that's right.
Trump University.
That's my point. So this is somebody who already proved that they would protect them in their own state. Now, a state's nothing. Like Florida runs around and beating their chest, we're Florida, nobody else is, and DeSantis, nobody cares. No. Everybody lives where everybody lives, and they have their things, their creature comforts that they deal with. Like, Jason lives here in the Midwest like I do. We got jackets, we got hats on when it's cold. We deal with it, but we deal with it. Like, people from Florida, they could not deal with the weather we're dealing with. Right now, it's 26 degrees outside right now, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand it's in the 20s or the 30s? Like, it is cold outside for someone from Florida.
You ever seen like people from Georgia drive on snow?
Oh,
like, crashing into each
funny.
Other, like 50-car pileup.
Oh, it's crazy. Now, that being said, Trump probably wants to keep her because where William Barr just wasn't William, he was willing to compromise himself, but he wasn't willing to compromise. She will.
She's almost my pick that she'll be the one that he'll cut first. Because she can't come through with what he wants the most, punishment for his enemies. And so Letitia James, they brought back that no true bill, which according to every lawyer I've ever seen talk the last 2 days, hardly ever happens when it comes to grand juries. She can't bring down Letitia James. She can't bring down James Comey. She can't get that done. Whereas Kash Patel, the FBI is not really so much into that, but it's either between her or Hegseth, I think, will be the one that Trump makes him resign. And only because Hegseth brings so much attention to himself.
As I never got to Patel and Hegseth on my run, Hegseth currently has the most going against him.
Legally.
And honestly, here's the deal.
Yeah.
If they're hanging to the boat and you shot them,
right,
one way or the other, either the rules exist that says you can't do that, so you broke those rules, and that's going to put you down for a war crime. But if that rule doesn't exist, then they're just human beings, and you murdered them, so you're going to go down for murder.
Yeah, at that point, they're not delivering anything.
Right. And by the way, the proper way to do any of this, and I don't even have to be in the military. I don't have to be a part of the Pentagon. I don't have to work in Washington, D.C. I can just live in St. Louis, Missouri and host a show called The Left Hook and talk to Jason Kull on a random day and discuss things like I am. And I can easily tell you from movies and just general knowledge and research. If you want to take drugs out of a situation and prove to everyone that this all was about drugs, you have the manpower and the boats to stop those boats with your drones and stuff. How about you just stop their boat, take the drugs off the boat, show the drugs to everyone, and then lock them up or send them to El Salvador. Send them to one of these countries you keep wanting to throw prisoners at for them to be happy. You want it to be Mark and Jason. It really needs to be, if it is, Estevo, who is taking drugs from Venezuela to the American coast through the Gulf of America, of all places.
They're just, here's the thing: if it's about drugs and we're killing these drug boats, these narco terrorists, then why did he just pardon a drug trafficker
like Maduro and people like that? Like I don't understand
what is going on?
This stuff where they're giving money to countries that are backing drugs. They're pardoning guys that were dictators of countries and letting them out.
We're arresting pipe bomb guys because we're going to defend the Capitol.
Because we're worried about 5 years ago. By the way, all right. Let me go a step further. Another come to Jesus moment. Let's say you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say the election was rigged and you found out that it was all people that were Joe Biden supporters that dressed up like Trump supporters, and they purposely did all this. Well, then now the president of the United States is really dumb because he pardoned a bunch of Joe Biden voters who wanted to, but don't forget, they wanted to stop Joe Biden from becoming president. That's why they stood in line for an hour.
Right? That's how everything they do unravels. That's why this whole boat thing. Pete Hegseth saw it. Then he didn't. Then he did, but he left right before the second one. It's like it changes.
It
all
constantly
the time.
is changing, and it makes no sense.
What they say today makes no sense from what how it was a year ago or whatever year ago.
Hey, Trump phones. Hey, look at those bad boys, huh? $100. Oh, those are $10 phones, bro. People paid $700 for, and they never even got the phone.
And they haven't got it yet.
That's so ridiculous.
We're waiting on it because the tariffs have created backlogs.
Do you hear that we are laughing at you? We are laughing. We are laughing. This is funny. We are laughing. Because that is true. We are laughing. We are in a movie like Anchorman, and we are standing with the rich mahogany, and we are laughing because think about it. We just listed off 13 different things. All of them have to do with Republicans. All of them have the words Joe Biden wrapped around and thrown around them. Joe Biden wasn't in the waters in the Caribbean when this boat got attacked. No. He wasn't hanging out with Pete Hegseth. I'm sure that they'll try to say that this was a Biden policy. That
happened during Biden's era.
But no. They won't say that. What they'll say is this policy was designed during Biden's era.
We're following
and Pete Hegseth was just following Biden's orders. Right. And I bet you, if I'm right, you owe me a milkshake. On that one right there. If the story comes out, Jason, that they come out and say, wait, those were orders written during Biden's era and Pete was just following them, you owe me a milkshake. One milkshake. I nailed it on the show in order.
That would be such a get that would be
worth
the
milkshake.
Candy milkshake.
That'd be worth the milkshake. That's what I'm saying. It'd be. I'll just take Steak and Shake, but it'd be worth the milkshake. Worth it. I'll even take a Sonic. I'll take a Sonic.
We can sit in the car.
Dairy Queen, they got great milkshakes. People don't listen. I like a frozen yogurt milkshake too. Yeah, I don't mind my milkshake being like frozen yogurt, like custard or frozen custard based or any of those things. Like that doesn't bother me. Now we were talking about Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, or Pete Hegseth, and I said that Pam was the safest, and Pete has the most
Legally,
going against him right now. Right now.
Yeah, he's got both sides.
Right now. He's kind of in a real catbird position for taking the go-ahead.
He's got your embarrassing Trump and your super in-depth.
Kash, on the other hand, Kash's problem is he's a goof, okay? When we say clumsy and unnecessary presidency, Kash Patel is what we are talking about. Like he is a comic. He's wearing women's FBI jackets.
He won't leave the plane without it.
Not because of any other reason than you're not a man. Right? That's it. Like, Jason, no. Jason, say it. Say it right now. Kash Patel, you're not a man.
You're not a man, Kash Patel. No.
There it is. Good. No. Jason, and I'm going to say, Kash Patel, you're just not a man. That's why you had to wear a women's jacket and you waited for it. You see, if you never said a word and you just walked out with the jacket on and nobody would have ever noticed.
No one cares.
Because you would have just been wearing a blue jacket that said FBI on it. But the worst part was you needed it to have like special armbands with like the patches and stuff. And it's like, dude.
Cosplay.
If you want that jacket so bad, then you bring it with you wherever you go. Like that's your that's your raid jacket. Then you go get your raid jacket because wherever you were at, that's where your plane is, your car is. That's where your raid jacket should be. But also, you're the head of it, so keep your raid jacket with you, or tell your assistants to keep your raid jacket with you at all times.
Cosplay.
Now, on the back side of that, I think it's Pete. I think Pete's the easiest throwaway right now. I think between, but you got to also remember, guys, Pete has also been cannon fodder for how he was this drunken idiot on TV for years as a newscaster. Then he tried to pretend that he was this badass military guy to us as a part of the Department of War. And then we found out he knew the rules and talked about them 10 years ago to everybody on video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then he turned around and was mad about Mark Kelly and all of them spouting off the exact same thing Mark Kelly and them said.
You know what's funny,
You guys are idiots.
Now, everyone at the time when those 6 lawmakers made that video, and everyone was like, on the right was like, there's not even a problem. I don't even know what they're talking about. Found out. This is what they're talking about.
This is what they're talking about.
They just couldn't tell us when they made the video.
But guess what? Mark and Jason, for years now, have been telling you on this show that Donald Trump's entire presidency was going to be like this. No. I even did famously the American Purge episode where we talked about literally how they keep going down this authoritarian purge. Like eventually they're going to set it up to where for 12 hours murder's legal, everything's like they're trying to get away with war crimes right now. You people are nuts to think they're not trying Hunger Games eventually, because He watches movies and he thinks Hannibal Lecter's real person and he thinks these are real things. So when he saw it, he's like, that seems like a great idea. And by the way, I'm going to make sure Rocky gets a rematch against that tall Russian guy. Like, it's ridiculous the things that are going on, but it's time for us to get out of here, Jay. We can't bother ourselves with these stresses anymore.
No.
Make sure you check us out at markbland.net. That's markbland.net. And Jason, they can find you at Featherbanks.
Find us on Twitter. Might have some stuff coming up.
Good. All right. That's going to do it for us on this episode of The Left Hook every Saturday morning on these CBS affiliates or WIBHradio.com at 9 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time. That's going to do it for us. We will see you guys next time on The Left Hook.